Gothic. It's great. It's gonna be a good time. There's supposed to be a ghost cat. Of course, Gothic mansion. They have this whirlwind romance. Heyo guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, per usual. I'm back with another Rex video. These, again, just like last week, are books that I haven't read yet, but they're ones that I found on Amazon that sounded really cool. So I'm excited about them. This is all gonna be like the Gothic ones. Last week was the Phantom of the Opera retellings, where you get an extra, I believe it's 50 points for the Romance Readathon this year. And then this video is gonna be all these Gothic ones that gives you an extra 25 points, I believe it is. And don't forget, it doesn't have to all be romance books that you read. You can read any genre and you're still gonna get points. You just get an extra 25 points if your book is romance or has a strong secondary romantic plot. Now then, again, all my other co-hosts and my phantoms, they're creating rec videos as well, so we're gonna be throwing books at you like crazy bones Jones. So I'm only gonna do about 5 today, so I definitely recommend you go check out the other co-host channels. They're amazing. April, I think, put together 30 books of Gothic romance because she went down a rabbit hole, which I completely understand. I was trying to like quell myself from doing that because her and I are the same when it comes to that. We'll deep dive, man. We go down a black hole. We don't come out for hours. Yeah, so definitely go check out her videos. She's got lots of options for you, babe. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Again, I'll have the playlist down below with everybody's recs, so check those videos out. All right? Cool, let's go. I'll stop jib-jabbing. This one sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I have a very clear understanding what the plot is, but that's actually probably a good thing for me because I have a tendency, once I kind of figure out what the plot is, my brain wants to take it in its own creative fashion, and I start coming up with ideas that I think would be cool. And then when they don't happen, I think I get bummed. So this could be beneficial for us. I don't know if you do the same thing, but this is a sick-ass cover. It's called Of Monsters and Kings. Sounds like it's a series. I don't think the next book is out yet, but it's the Unworldly City series. It has insane reviews on both Goodreads and Amazon, so that's banging. I think it's relatively new, but the whole synopsis that it kind of tells you, like I said, it's kind of a vague understanding in my head. It basically sounds like we have this girl and she's like the 15th daughter. So there's been this whole line, there's this succession of women and these mothers passing down, I guess, this story and this warning of what's to come and what the 15th daughter is going to have to deal with, I believe. So this is kind of like a chosen one sort of situation, like you're finally reaching your destiny. You're going to now need to accomplish this journey and something, I'm not using the right words, you're going to need to accomplish this task in order to save everybody. But it's supposed to be this like dark horror, fantasy, Gothic sort of book. All the comments were saying that it's very well written. It definitely, like, it's not, there's some heaping teaspoons of spice, as they say, but it's not focused on the spice. It's really focused on the story, and there's twists and turns that you're not going to see coming, and it's kind of a celebration of the odd. So that's intriguing to me. They're talking about how there's kind of like these paranormal royalty, and it sounds like there's these 5 maybe guys, or there's these 5 people that this girl is going to have to go up against. It doesn't necessarily say why choose, but there definitely seems to be some sort of group setting here. I came across this comment, so I need to read this to you. Sorry, I'm kind of pivoting here. But this book is a lot like the boat scene in the old Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, where it is both hypnotic and terrifying. That one sentence right there, that one comment, hooks me, babe. Absolutely hooks me. People are saying that it's very thought-provoking subtext, which that excites me too. I've been into books lately where it makes me think a little bit more. It's not just kind of pure guilty pleasure entertainment, but there's things that are making me think, like Pestilence did. So I'm excited by that. Everybody's calling it epic. People are calling it a masterpiece. It's only like 300 and something pages. So when I say epic, don't think that I'm saying it's a 700-page thing. Yeah, it's only 322 pages. So this is definitely very doable. The world building's supposed to be amazing. It's exciting in a very new style of fantasy. So I will take that. That one I think is probably the top of my list. Next one. Coven of Ill Repute. So this one was cool and it stood out to me because it's another Gothic story. It's another Gothic romance, but it's claimed as like a Gothic cozy romance, which I haven't really come across before. And a lot of people mentioned in the comments how there's this humor to it that's really enjoyable. And even in the synopsis, I feel like you could kind of see this coming. But this is actually probably my second most exciting one that I'm here for. Another really pretty cover as well. But essentially we have witches, we have vampires, and I think some other monsters as well. But there's this girl where basically the Duke of the Damned, he's been murdered, and for whatever reason, it's been made to look like it came from her coven. So in order to protect her family that she loves and who means the world to her, she's now going out to try and figure out who's trying to frame them. And the new Duke, or basically the heir to the Duchy Kingdom, as she says. He's a vampire, okay? So we got a witch and a vampire scenario here. And he's very stubborn, he's hard-headed. It sounds like he's morally gray. And he also kind of believes that she could potentially be the murderer here. But he's willing to help her in figuring out who murdered his relative, the original Duke. So they basically are kind of adversaries, but they're working together, and they go to the manor, or they go to this castle, which seems to be kind of alive in a way, and it has a bunch of monsters in it, and they're trying to move through it, almost like a labyrinth, and they're fighting these monsters together to try and get to the different clues to figure out who the murderer was. And it sounds like there's going to be really good banter within it. They're not going to be able to help themselves. They're slowly coming together and understanding that they actually care for one another. It's got that touch her and die sort of vibes, even though it's kind of like, I want to kill you myself sort of thing. So I could see this potentially being very cozy and fun and just banter riddled. And I'm not typically a witchy person, but I am a vampire girly. So, of course I'm going to give it a shot. But I figured that would be a really good one for us to kind of try out, since it has those cozy vibes. You never see that. It's only 318 pages. Also, I'm a weirdo, but when names are like really good, that sucks me in. And his name's Rorik. And I'm here for it. I'm here for a Rorik name. But anyways, this had good reviews yet again. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so that's good. I don't know if I mentioned it on the other ones. I don't think the last one was. But this is also book 1 of 2. Sorry, I know I'm giving lots of series. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so this one, I had to bring some fairy tales into it, all right? But this is called Marrying Bluebird, a dark Gothic romance, fantasy, and fairy tales. So I believe there's 2 books within the series, but you can read them as standalones. So don't worry, you don't have to read the first book. This is technically the second one. But a lot of people really like this chick's writing, by the way. They say that EP Stav, I think it's Stavs, is really, really good. There's only a handful of ratings here, so I'll be honest with you. There's only, 38 ratings, but it has 4.6 stars and then 4.4 on Goodreads with 50 ratings on Goodreads. So that's a damn good start, my friend. But this is essentially, it calls out Bridgerton again. We have more vampires. It's Gothic. It's great. It's going to be a good time. But essentially we have this girl who, she can talk to ghosts, so she's got powers. And she's at the marriageable age where, she's on the marriage mart. Her family's on the hunt for a husband. She doesn't really want one because she's worried that people won't understand her and understand her gift, and she won't really be able to be her true self, right? And she's at one of these house parties where she's supposed to be, like flirting with the gentleman. But this Bluebird character comes in, and they end up falling, or it sounds like she ends up falling head over heels for him. I don't know if it's like a little ploy or something on his end, but they end up having this like elopement. They have this like affair and this elopement, and he takes her away to his castle, where it sounds like there's going to be a bunch of ghosts in this castle, and he actually needs her, so he might be using her for some way to get revenge against his greatest enemy, I believe. But the enemy has nothing to relate with her. But he needs her powers, and he needs her to be talking to all the ghosts in his castle and all that jazz. It's supposed to be very well written, with the characters being really well done. It's supposed to be very thrilling. It's supposed to be very fast-paced. There's supposed to be a ghost cat. I know that's going to perk up your ears. So it sounds like it could be fun, and it's a fairy tale. The other story, I didn't actually read the synopsis, but people mentioned this multiple times within the comments, that the first one, which had to do, it's like Rest in Peace Von Winkle or something like that. So, Rip Von Winkle, it's kind of like a story. Oh, Rip. Rest in peace. Yeah. Rip Von Winkle. Got it. Just clicked. But people said that one was really good. And this one is even better. So I think these might be her only $2. Anyways, that one sounds like it's a fun, good time. Now the next one. This one's supposed to have like a 1980s vibe, which typically is not my jam. I'm definitely more of like more in the past sort of girly, but it sounded like there was potential for this to be kind of fun, almost like a Stranger Things sort of vibe. It's also a pretty cover. It's called Grove Hollow Metamorphosis. Again, has very good ratings. I try to find ones with good ratings, you guys. So this one, the plot, it definitely is heavy on the plot. I don't think it really has any spice to it whatsoever, but it does have romance. I believe our main character, Jade, she's essentially like, she's moving into this new mansion. I think her parents passed away. She's moving into this mansion, of course, Gothic mansion. And she's kind of discovering the secrets of her ancestors while also, you know, going to a new school. I think it might be a high school. And she's trying to understand the hierarchy here. And she's helping this rugby player do something. I don't even know what she's helping him with, but she's helping him. And then simultaneously, she ends up finding this ghost in her mansion named William, and she's trying to help him move into the afterlife. And it sounds like maybe she's going to have some sort of like love interest with him, that maybe there's stuff in their past from like past lives that they're connected in more ways than just how they met now. But it sounds like it's supposed to be kind of a... Like, the synopsis doesn't give it away, but based off of the comments, it sounds like this is supposed to be more fun and witty and comical. Almost like on Netflix, I can't remember, I think it's called Lisa Frankenstein, but the girl who's basically obsessed with Frankenstein and, like, brings him back to life. Or, not Frankenstein, she brings back a dead guy. She brings a dead guy to life. There we go. And she's kind of, like, obsessed with him. So it's kind of like that goofy, quirky sort of style. That's what it sounds, this is supposed to giving off those vibes. The synopsis to me doesn't really do that, but based off of the comments, that's the vibe that I'm getting. So this definitely has high potential. Hopefully it's really good. Honestly, the other ones for me, I'm a little bit more excited about, but I liked this whole like 1980s goofy sort of Stranger Things, Lisa Frankenstein sort of vibe. So I thought I'd mention it. But anyways, the last book that I have, Devil's Cove, a Victorian dark gothic romance. I think it's another series. The Tortured Souls series. Oh, yeah. There's 4 books. Wait, hold on a damn second. I might have given you guys the wrong synopsis for the Bluebird one. Hold, please. Yep. I did. Okay, sorry. Back to the Bluebird one really quickly. She does talk with ghosts, okay? She talks with ghosts, but he's not using her. That's the next book I'll be talking about. Basically, they have this whirlwind romance as they meet at that house party. And she kind of just jumps headfirst into their relationship. But then she realizes she doesn't really know him all that well. And that there might be a little bit more of a mystery and a murder that she's kind of thrown in the midst of now. So she's going to have to kind of... get to learn to know her husband and figure out who he really is and if he's a good guy or if he's a bad guy. It's supposed to be very steamy and it's supposed to have a vampiric twist on the classic Bluebeard tale. So there's that. Now the last one, sorry about that guys, I'm my brain sometimes. The Devil's Cove one. It's a Victorian dark gothic romance, so lots of Bridgerton vibes, okay? Like I mentioned, it's a series. This one's over 500 pages, so this one's definitely longer. And this is the one where essentially our girl, she also talks to ghosts. She is a medium, and she ends up stumbling across a dead girl in the woods, unalived girl in the woods, I should say. And in order to, like, escape the asylum or escape the potential of being thrown in the asylum, her only option is essentially to go with this pirate character who he's kind of pretending to like her and use her, and brings her back to his place, to his castle where there are a bunch of ghosts. And that's where she needs to talk to the ghosts and try to figure out how to get revenge on his ultimate enemy. All right. And through this sort of experience, they come to find that they're going to love each other. Okay. Sorry. I totally merged 2 books together, but Devil's Cove is a breathtaking first book in the Tortured Souls Gothic romance series, which is 4 books, by the way. Chilling suspense, explicit passion, and electrifying twists. Anyways, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Sorry for completely butchering the synopses. Sorry if I got you excited there, but they all still sound good. All right. Anyways, like I mentioned before, my co-hosts, they got their own rec videos going on. I have it in a playlist for you guys, so if you're still building those TBRs, I think this video is coming out before the readathon starts, so don't forget, post your TBR and make sure you log it on the actual challenges link, so that way I know to put points into your team's trope pot. All right, now that should be it, I think. My co-host Phantoms, they have their videos. Make sure you do your TBR for your trope pot. And the readathon should be starting shortly at this point. So get ready. The Phantom's coming for you, baby. Which means I'm coming for you. And I'm very competitive. So anyways, I'll check you guys later. You have a good one. Bye.